It's a natural question to ask how Masonry connects to the Nauvoo Temple ordinances. And it's certainly very clear when you know something about Masonic ritual that, like the Bible, there's in some strands of Masonic degrees this notion of ascending step by step to the presence of God. So in a general way, for any Mason who was a Christian and who took those ideas to be real as opposed to merely allegorical, there's something that Mormonism and Masonry share in the general idea about man's future and destiny. More particularly, though, there's certain kinds of ritual language and forms that are part of the Nauvoo Temple ordinances that no doubt are shared with Masonry. The easy answer would be, since Joseph Smith became a Mason shortly before he introduced the Temple ordinances, that Masonry was somehow translated into those ordinances, but the answer isn't really quite that simple. Joseph Smith, if you look closely at the true origin of where these things came, was a very close student of the Bible. There's an important difference in the content of those ordinances between Masonry and what you find in the Nauvoo Temple. The centerpiece of Mormon temple ritual is the story of creation and the story of the Garden of Eden, things that are fairly peripheral to Masonic ordinances. Joseph Smith, in my view, started his tutorial on those temple ordinances when he was in 1830, when he was translating the Bible, very, very early after the organization of the church. You find, what do you find in those early chapters of the Bible? You find the story of the creation, which in all ancient temple ordinances was a must-have, that detailed recital of the creation. You also find, as scholars have recently become more and more convinced of, that the layout of Israelite temples is an exact model of the Garden of Eden. And so in essence, where you have an ancient high priest in the Israelite religion, like the modern Mormon, endowed Mormon, walking from the courtyard of the temple where they're washed and anointed and prepared, going into the presence of God, you actually have the story of the fall of Adam in reverse. So what more appropriate story could be told for the endowment than what we have in that story?